Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. I am Damien, and today we're looking at the price of Bitcoin at 94K, 94,400, coming up on a resistance area, an area that we might see a rejection here soon. But we're gonna look at the charts to see if that's gonna be the case, or if Bitcoin's gonna just continue plowing through and go into like 97 or 98K, which is I think might be the next target for Bitcoin here. So yeah, let's try to dig into the charts here, and we'll also try to we'll try to figure out where Bitcoin might go next, and then we'll take a look at some of your altcoins and some of your stocks. If you guys want to talk about stocks as well, we can always talk about stocks and commodities. I know gold and silver went to all-time highs yesterday. I don't know if they're still doing that today here, but we can take a look at that as well. But yeah, let me just setting things up here, making sure things are good here. I can hear myself. Good. All right, let's get started here. So we see that Bitcoin right now is just near the highs for the day. Did we get up to 94,500? Yeah, we got up to like 94,500. I know, me personally, I'm looking to try to short Bitcoin if it gets to 94,800, because I just don't know how sustainable this move will be. If we're actually going to punch through and maybe go to 95K or 96K, but those would be the next targets to the upside here. And I'm getting into the 1 hour chart here. This is like my day trading time frame I like to start off with. But you can see, like, I already highlighted like 94,500 is an area to be looking out for here, where Bitcoin could get rejected, because we saw Bitcoin get as high as like 94,800 last Monday, January 5th here. So, an idea is to like maybe look for a short at this point. I mean, maybe even now if you want to, but where would you put the stop loss? Well, I'm trying to short at 94,800 because I want to get the best price possible for a short. And I'm trying to put my stop loss at like 95,800. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But I do got some longs cooking right now. I got an Aerodrome long. I got a Ethereum long. So either way, if we continue to go into higher prices here, then I'm okay with that, because I'm already in longs right now. But a short on Bitcoin right now would just be a head short against the longs that I already got that are cooking right now. Let's see. I'm gonna try to catch up in the chat, see what you guys are saying in the chat right now. Cameron says 94,000 to 97,000 sounds about right for a short. And 7 says short with a question mark. Yeah, we're interested in taking shorts right now. Nothing too crazy. We're not gonna go full hammer on the shorts, but we're just looking to try to maybe catch a short, because we just don't know if we're gonna get rejected again like we did back here on Monday of last week and Tuesday of last week, right? We were up at this area last week and we got knocked down. So could the same thing happen to us, where we get knocked down from 94,500 back down to like 91K or even 90K? Because we did see Bitcoin at 90K, what, yesterday? Right? So, it's just an idea, Not saying that it's going to play out that way, but, it's an idea that we could make some money shorting Bitcoin at these levels here. All right. Now let me get into the daily time frame, which is a longer term time frame, get a big picture view of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin was to continue to get past 95K or 94,800, there is a 50-day moving average, this green line here at 97K. Well, it's at 97,600 right now. But this is why I say like 97, 98K could be the next target for Bitcoin if we're going to push past 95K. 97, 98K could be an idea where people take some profit at that area, okay? And that's just the 50-day moving average, okay? Now, if I zoom out some more, my chart might get a little bit messy. I'm actually going to take out the moving averages right now. I still got these red lines here, but I'm going to pull up the VRVP indicator here, and it's going to show you some levels to look out for here on Bitcoin. You can see that we got some high volume nodes here, right? The next high volume node above us, it's about like 96K to like 97K. So that's why I say like 96, 97K is an idea to maybe take a short on Bitcoin. I'm initially taking a short right now, but if I get stopped out, I'll wait until like 97K to try to re-engage another short on Bitcoin. Okay, and I'm just, you know, right now I'm short-term bullish, right? I still got the longs going, but overall I am long-term bearish until Bitcoin can get above the 200-day simple move average. Okay, and that 200 simple moving average, if I turn the moving averages on right now, you see this red line to the top here. This red line is 106K. I would have to see Bitcoin get to 106K for me to flip from being long-term bearish to long-term bullish again. Okay, we have to get it back up to 106K for me to be bullish on Bitcoin. Right now, I'm on like lower high watch where, you know, if Bitcoin goes up to like 97K and gets rejected, guess what, guys? That's a lower high, and we're probably gonna go down to lower prices after that. Okay. So I'm on lower high watch on Bitcoin right now, especially now that we're at 94,400. You know, it could be the lower high could be at 97K, could be somewhere at 101, 102K. Anything lower than 107K, because we saw Bitcoin make its recent lower high at 107,400. That was back here in November 11th. Okay, so unless we can get back above 107K, 107,482 to be exact, then it's just going to be another lower high, and the bears are still going to be right about us being in the bear market. Okay, especially if you're below the 200 moving average. 200 moving average is at 106K. I mean, you cannot say you're in a bull market if you're below the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. I mean, I wouldn't call it a bull market. But yeah, we're getting a relief rally. This is what I would call a relief rally. And we could climb, and we could climb high. We could go up to 97K or 101K, which is a high volume node here on the VRVP, the visual range volume profile indicator here. That's also kind of like right where the 100 moving average is at. Or we could even come up to the 200 moving average. Now, if we come to 200 moving, that's a pretty clear, convincing case that we're climbing ourselves out of this bear market. But we could come up to the 200 moving average and get rejected and then come back down. Okay. And that's something that I'm paying attention to as well, to see if Bitcoin's going to be able to do the thing here. But yeah, those are the things I'm looking out for. Even though it feels good to see Bitcoin at 94K, right? It'll feel better if it goes up to 97K or 101K. I won't feel right until we get to 107K. I got high standards, all right? Or at least those are my standards for a bull market. Is you got to get above the 200-day moving average at the very least. On the daily time frame, you got to get above it. Okay. But this is nice to see, though. This is nice to see. I was predicting kind of a rally, like a January rally back in December, only because I saw some things here. Let me go into the 3-day chart now. I saw some things on the 3-day chart that I think is still good here, and that's on the MACD. We do see that we do have green buying pressure candles showing up here. And I started becoming a little bit interested in the January rally back here in December, only because I saw the selling pressure was dying down. And then we got that MACD crossover here on December 21st. And if you go back to my previous live streams, you'll hear me talking about becoming like a little bit more optimistic on Bitcoin towards the end of December here, because we were about to get this MACD flip, which we did. We got the MACD crossover to the upside, which we did. And that was good to see on a 3-day chart. And now, let's see. Going into the 5-day chart. This is good to see here. On the 5-day chart, we're now seeing a MACD crossover to the upside for Bitcoin. And the selling pressure has died down. And now you're getting the beginning of a green buying pressure candle here for Bitcoin. Now, we want to continue seeing some more green buying pressure candles on the 5-day chart like we saw back here in May. In June, earlier back in 2025 here. It's funny to say back in 2025, but like, you know, in May and June of last year, we were getting those green buying pressure candles, and that's when Bitcoin made its way up to like 24K, 126K, right? So we need to see some green buying pressure candles here, sustainable. We do not, I mean, even though I'm getting a little bit excited here, we do not want to get rejected. We don't want to just all of a sudden make a red candle the next week. In the next few weeks here and start seeing selling pressure increase. We do not want to see the MACD crossover that we're getting start coming back down and do a crossover to the downside. We do not want to see that either. Okay, we can start to be more optimistic that we're getting this right now, but you know, there's no guarantee that it's going to stay that way, okay? But I like the trend on the 5-day and the 3-day time frame here on the MACD, and it's leading me to believe that we could see maybe 100K Bitcoin sooner rather than later. I'm not gonna give you a time frame. Okay, maybe I'll say maybe later on this month we might see 100K. Okay, but I like what I'm seeing on the long-term time frames here. Now let's see. Let's go back into the daily time frame, see what things are looking like, and then we'll go into the 1-hour time frame, which is the day trader time frame that I like using. Okay, here in the daily time frame here on the MACD, things look all right here for Bitcoin. Buying pressure was dying down, and this was a little bit cause for concern over the last couple of days here. But now you can see buying pressure is increasing with a solid green candle versus a light green candle here. So that's good to see for us to continue to sustain a rally to the upside here. Looking at market cipher B, obviously green buy dot came here on Monday. Momentum's going back up, and money flow looks pretty steady right now on the daily time frame. Now let's get into the 1-hour time frame, which is where I like to start off when I'm looking for day trades here. Looking at the MACD, the 1-hour time frame MACD for Bitcoin, we see that buying pressure is increasing over the last few hours early this morning. And even though we got a little bit of a light green candle here, if Bitcoin starts pushing up towards 95K, that'll turn into solid green, and it probably means we're going to get a more sustained rally going up forward. So even though I'm trying to look for a short, make sure it might actually get stopped out. Okay, but I'm not shorting right now. I'm waiting for 94,800 to kick into gear, and then I'm comfortable taking a short. But it's not a high convincing short because this rally could sustain itself, and we might see higher prices here for Bitcoin. Okay. Looking at market cipher B on the 1-hour time frame, money flows in the green, nice to see, and momentum is high. Your RSI, these are RSI horizontal bars. You are in overbought territory. Okay, this is fine for now until you see a red sell dot. Then that probably means that you should probably be taking profit. I mean, I probably would be taking profit right now if I was in a Bitcoin long. Because we are getting close to the highs from last week, actually. So Bitcoin is ready to be sold at any moment here, and I'm just waiting to see if a red sell dot's going to come in on the 1-hour time frame right now for the market cipher B indicator. On the RSI for Bitcoin, we are clearly overbought. RSI is at 76 right now. And, you know, this is an idea for like when you should probably take some profit is when you're overbought like this. However, you can stay overbought on the 1-hour time frame on your way to higher prices than where we are right now. So if you're trying to stay in the long, or if you're trying to start a long on Bitcoin, just know like it is you got your warning and your caution lights on right now. That Bitcoin could sell off any moment right now. Okay, let me get into the chat, see what you guys have to say in the chat here. Kind of finish off there with Bitcoin. Could possibly go higher, but could also get sold off at any moment now. El Jubo says Bitcoin 95,450. Is that your target right now? And how did you get that target? The roofing game is asking me, do I think we'll come back down to a certain number to test? Certain numbers to test right now. This $91,400 level was a tough level for us to break past. If we were to start coming down violently on Bitcoin, we could come down to that $91,400 level, which would act as support. And it's also with a 200 moving average. I know I got a bunch of red lines here, but this thin red line here, that 200 moving average on the 1-hour time frame, is where Bitcoin could come down to get some support if we were to violently sell off. Now, we could also still violently sell off and actually get some support off this 21 exponential moving average, which is where the price normally follows along for the most part. And we are quite above this 21 EMA. That 21 EMA is at 92,460. So maybe if we were enter a short, you could take some partial profit here and then take some more profit at 91,400 if Bitcoin gets rejected at these levels here. Okay, but yeah, that's what I would look for levels of downside at this point for Bitcoin. Let's see. All right. I think those are the comments for now. You guys have any cryptocurrencies you guys are getting into right now? Doodle says HTF stochastic RSI. Do you want me to take a look at the stochastic RSI for Bitcoin right now? Is that your question? I can look at the stochastic RSI, see what it looks like. Let me turn that indicator on right now for you. So stochastic RSI on the 1 hour time frame, yeah, it's relatively high. The thing about the stochastic RSI, it could stay high for a while here before it starts coming back down. Is that the time frame you want me to look at, or do you want me to look at like the daily time frame here? Because the daily time frame, stochastic RSI is just starting to curve back up now, so we might see a sustained rally here because on the daily time frame, you're not even overbought on the stochastic RSI. Okay. But I like using these indicators. I used to use the stochastic RSI back in the day, even like a year ago. But like I like using the other indicators here, like the market cipher B indicator and the MACD and stochastic and the regular RSI. Those are the momentum indicators I like using for now. And I like using the market cipher B because you already got RSI here. You got the overbought horizontal bars to the top here, the red bars indicating that you should probably sell the asset, and then you got the green bars on the bottom here. This is your oversold bars where you should consider buying the asset. And Bitcoin on a daily time frame hasn't been oversold since November, the last week of November of last year. So Bitcoin is not even overbought. We're like in neutral territory, and we could continue climbing up to higher prices. I would start worrying about maybe a sell-off on Bitcoin when we start getting up to the red horizontal bars here on market cipher B, and we haven't had that yet. So I think Bitcoin could climb up higher before it gets sold off. That's why I think this relief rally could continue into January. Maybe it dips into February as well before we get a significant sell-off here. But I think we could get a temporary sell-off here with Bitcoin at 94,300. We could probably come down to 92 or 91K all over again. Just cooling things off a little bit, make a higher low, and then climb up to higher prices here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Do I ever look at Bare Naked Crypto? He's a pretty good streamer and had a decent Discord and YouTube. No, I never heard of the guy. Maybe you can message me and send me a link to his YouTube. Yeah. Keller Voss says climb up higher about. All right, yeah. So I just said it earlier in the live stream that if Bitcoin was to climb up higher, we are looking at like 97K, which is the 50-day simple moving average. This green line is where Bitcoin could possibly get rejected if it continues past 95K here. We haven't been at 95K. We come close to 95K. We came to like 94,800 on January 5th, 94,600 on Tuesday, December 9th. But yeah, we're near levels where Bitcoin could get rejected again. And if it doesn't, then maybe this is the time where we actually climb up to like 96, 97K. But if I turn on this BRVP indicator, which I'm going to do right now for you, it's going to be this indicator on the right. You can see that there's a lot of resistance here at 94,500. But then the resistance starts to die off a little bit here. There's some at like 96K. But then after 96K, it really dies off, and you won't get much resistance again until like 101, 102K. So, there's some areas to look for above us. But once we get past 95K, I mean, we could see Bitcoin start running. For sure, yeah. to like 96, 97, 98K. Maybe chill out there for a little bit and then head up to 101, 102K. Thank you, Chuck S, for following me here on TikTok. We're doing a technical analysis on Bitcoin and crypto, but I can also do technical analysis on stocks if you have a stock you want me to look at. We looked at gold and silver yesterday. The same stuff here on the charts, I can use it on any asset. Doesn't matter. It could be Bitcoin, crypto, could be oil, gold, silver, could be stocks, you know, Tesla, Nvidia, those sort of stocks. Doesn't really matter. I can do it all. Let me see, just see what else you guys saying here on the chat. All right, yeah, I'll try to remember to look up bare naked crypto. All right, Aiden, I do have a few indicators on here. I feel like I got a lot showing here on the chart. Let me just go into another Bitcoin chart here, so I got less things showing. But yeah, there are some levels to look for, both upside and downside, and we are getting to resistance levels here for Bitcoin. And looks like we got a value area high, or at least here on Binance Exchange, we got a value area high near 96K. I like to see Bitcoin get up to 96K. Maybe we might see that later on this week. Let's see how some of my trades are doing here on WEEX Exchange. Waiting for this thing to load up here. We got Aerodrome. I'm in an Aerodrome Finance long that I just got into today. Up about 12% on that one. Bitcoin Cash is like my only loser right now. I've been trying to get into Bitcoin Cash because I think you know, it's done going down for now. And a Zcash long, that one took me down as well. But I'm in an Ethereum long that's cooking right now, up 30%. So those are my longs, my trades that I'm on with WEEX Exchange here. WEEX is a good cryptocurrency exchange that's easy to get started with. You can start joining WEEX using just an email address. They don't do KYC unless you want to, and you don't need a VPN to start using their exchange. It's one of my favorite exchanges to use right now. And if you want to start using the WEEX Exchange, I do have the link here to join with the VIB code XVDP. You just click on that link in my bio for TikTok, okay? And of course, my YouTube guys that are watching right now, the code is right there in the middle of the screen. Put in that XVDP referral code, and you can take advantage of some of the bonuses that WEEX got going on. Right now they're doing like a $100 bonus if you, I'm sorry, $50 bonus if you put $100 onto the exchange and just leave it there for a few days. Okay, I think you gotta leave it on there for like 7 days. All right, but yeah, this is a cryptocurrency exchange that I'm using right now to make some trades. And I also use Coinbase Exchange. That's the one where I'm waiting for Bitcoin to hit 94,800, and then I'll go ahead and short it. Already got the short ready to go if we get up to that area. Jackie wants me to take a look at PayPal. Okay. And PLK Adam is asking about the indicator on the right. So this is the visual range volume profile indicator. You go into trading view. You just type in VRVP. And you'll get that indicator, visual range volume profile indicator. Okay. I also got a video on TikTok where you can watch, you know, the video on how to set up the VRVP indicator the way I have it set up, and then I teach you how I actually trade with that indicator. Hey, come on, TikTok. Let me see my videos here. All right, but yeah, there's that VRVP indicator right there. It's pinned to the top of the channel, so you should be able to see it. Okay, that's a good video to take a look at to figure out how to set up the VRVP indicator there. All right, let's look at PayPal, since we got a first request here. PayPal on the NASDAQ. Oh, what is PayPal doing here? I'm looking at the chart right now. It's not looking like no bueno right now. Let me get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. PayPal currently trading at $56.56. You're near like the lows from like last year. Near like kind of like the lows from April during the whole tariff scare in April of last year. PayPal, what are you doing here? This is not good. Not good in my opinion. You're below all the moving averages here. This is very, very bearish. Okay, you're below the 200-day, 100-day, 50-day, and the 21 EMA. The 21 EMA, this white line, is a line that the price will follow closely for the most part, because it's just measuring the last 21 days here, the average of that. And you are below that as well. But you see that every time you have to try to come up to the 21 EMA on PayPal here, you get rejected. Right now that 21 EMA is at $59.28. I would expect if PayPal was to come up to $59.20, it might get rejected again one more time here, unless PayPal can get above this white line here. Okay, get above that white line and we can start to become a little bit more hopeful and optimistic on PayPal. But let's see if PayPal is done going down. Let's see if there's any bullish divergence here using the RSI here. Is there any bullish divergence? You would need to see higher lows here after making lower lows on price. Maybe. I mean, if the price starts going up from here and we start seeing, like, you know, maybe in the next few days we'll figure out if there's going to be possible bullish divergence here, but I am seeing what could be a higher low here on the RSI, and then you got a lower low here on price. And for those who know, this would be bullish divergence. This would mean that the buyers are stepping up to the plate, trying to buy these lower prices here on PayPal. So there's a possibility that there could be some bullish divergence here for PayPal. See anything good going here on the momentum indicators? The MACD on the daily time frame. I don't like this. You got a MACD crossover to the downside. Now you had a MACD crossover to the downside around New Year's, and then immediately a crossover to the upside on January 5th. But now you got another MACD crossover, so I don't know. I don't like this on PayPal. This could turn into more selling pressure, which you're already getting. Got red candle here, red candle here. So the momentum doesn't look so great. Although it could just end up being sideways trading action though. Market Cipher B showing that there's money flows in the negative. It's in the red. And you just had a red sell dot here on Wednesday of last week. I guess you're waiting for a green buy dot to show up to indicate that it might be bottoming out, and you would think it would be bottoming out sooner rather than later if you see that green buy dot come in below these oversold horizontal bars here, these green lines here. See these two green lines? That's an RSI indicator, and it's showing that PayPal is oversold on the daily time frame here. And if you get a green buy dot that shows up near the oversold horizontal bars, that's usually a bottom indicator. That's usually a good time to buy that asset. But you haven't had that yet, but it could be coming sooner rather than later though. We shall see. But yeah, I'm not liking PayPal right now. I think your upside target is just $59 for now, unless you can prove that we're actually going to go up to higher prices. And if you do go to higher prices, the next moving average above you is that 50-day moving average at $65.32. Well, let me zoom out here and turn on the VRVP indicator, see if the VRVP indicator says anything different. You got some high volume here at 59 bucks. We already know $59 is going to be a tough area for it to get past. Some more high volume at $61, and then you got a value area low at $63. I think that would be your swing trade long-term target for now, is $63 on PayPal for the upside target. And I don't know if I really want to give you a downside target because, geez, if PayPal loses the price, if it goes any lower than where it is right now, it could drop like a rock. Probably down to like the prices that you saw back here in November of 2023, when this thing was as low as like 50 bucks. Not looking good here for PayPal, but you could be close to bottoming out. You're near the lows from last year, I'll tell you that. And if you go any lower than that, then you're talking about going to the lows back in 2023. Jay wants to look at Cardano. Spider-Man says Bitcoin short question mark. I'm looking to short Bitcoin at 94,800 if it does get up there. I should probably put alert for 94,800 or 700. Let me know if Bitcoin is going to go up there while I'm looking at these cryptos and stocks with you guys here. But let me go ahead and write down Cardano as a request. Mark says something about Nano. And just remind me, is Nano, I'm assuming that's a cryptocurrency, but if not, let me know if it's a stock or not. So we'll look at Nano before Cardano because that one came in before Cardano did. Alright. And then Kale Voss says 2026 super cycle or lasts till Q1 or Q2. I'm not calling anything a super cycle, man. It's hard. You cannot say Bitcoin's in a super cycle if it's what, down 30% from its all-time high and below the 200-day simple moving average. That doesn't seem super to me. Oh, Mark is saying that it's a chip stock. Okay, yep. I'll go ahead and look for that. All right. And then what else did I have to look at? Yeah, just Cardano and Nano. Oh, I wanted to put in an alert for Bitcoin here. Let's see, alert. I would like to add alert for Bitcoin, please. Yep. When Bitcoin gets up to 94,800, let me know. Only once. Boom. Put an alert for 94,800 here on Bitcoin. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Nano now. Is that Nano Nuclear Energy on the NASDAQ? Mark says he is Australian. Oh, what time is it over there in Australia? It's like 4:40 here in the East Coast of America. 4:40 in the afternoon here, or evening for the East Coast of America. Oh wow, it's 8 o'clock in the morning over there. I got a few people showing up on my live streams on that side of the world. I got a guy I know in Taiwan that watches my live streams. So thank you for coming on board here, and don't forget to follow me here on TikTok. Definitely follow me here right now on TikTok because there are some Meet Damien impersonators that are pretending to be me, and they're going to try to scam you if they can. So make sure you're following the right guy here, since you're already, here I am. I'm talking to you right now on the live stream. Go ahead and click on my profile picture and follow me, and then you got the right one. All right, so we're looking at Nano Nuclear Energy. Oh, you want me to look at Weebit Nano? Okay, all right. So I got the wrong Nano then. Weebit Nano. Okay, all right. I see it now. Interesting. All right. So is this the thing that you're looking for? The stock? Looks like it's currently trading at $3.34. And it's a semiconductor that engages in developing, commercializing silicon oxide, and yeah, it looks like it's a semiconductor company. Founded and headquartered in Sydney, Australia in 2015. Okay. I never heard of this one, but I'm interested to do some analysis for you. All right. Yep, that's the one. Got it. But you said it's trading on the ASX. Maybe I can get some better data off of that one. WeBit Nano on the ASX. Okay. Okay. All right. So this looks like it's actually trading at $4.96. Pre-market. Looks like your stock market is about to open up here soon. All right. So we're looking at WeBit Nano. This is a stock that trades over in Australia. And I got this request off of Mark here. This thing looks relatively bullish. I would say very bullish because you're above most of the moving averages, all the moving averages. You're above the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and the 21 EMA. Looks like he kind of topped out here on December 29th at $5.90. You now got a value area high sitting at about 564. That's where you could get some resistance. So I'll probably take profit at 564, 565, somewhere around that area. Don't get too greedy. We just don't know if we're actually going to get back up to 590. This thing was to drop down for any reason. You do got the 21 EMA, this white line at 472. That could act as support. If not, some more support would definitely be at this point of control, this blue line here, sitting at $4.08. All right, you can see that we had some sideways trading action going on at $4.08. So I think that should hold as support. Unless it doesn't, then you might drop down below that to this next high volume node here, sitting at 325, and that's like kind of confluent with the 100-day moving average right here. So 325 possible support zone. 410, 408, somewhere around this area is your probably most likely support zone. Okay. I like what I'm seeing here for this stock because you are going up and to the right for the most part. Let me get rid of the VRVP for now, but you can see that it's been up and to the right ever since June of last year. And now I'm going to quickly do a Fibonacci here to figure out, you know, if this thing does continue climbing up to higher prices, like how far up could it possibly go? I'm just measuring from this swing low to this swing high. And we got it, well, we got as high as 589, 590. There is a 1272 Fibonacci extension to the upside where this thing could get up to like 659. And then you got a 1618 probably later on this year, you could see this stock get up to like $7.47. That's your 1618 Fibonacci extension to the upside. All right, so I gave you the upside targets, and then of course you get your downside targets. Is that, you know, the moving averages below you, 390 and 329. All right, we'll move on from Nano. We'll take a look at Cardano now. We're now taking a look at Cardano, currently trading at 41 cents, up 6% today. But Cardano's got a lot of work to do because we've seen higher prices here for Cardano. Back here in August of 2025, we saw Cardano at like 90 cents, almost hitting a dollar. And now here we are at 41 cents, like a 60% drop from where we used to be. But what I do like here with Cardano, you are above the 21 EMA. This 21 EMA was acting like a problem for the most part all throughout the fourth quarter of 2025, where here in October you got rejected, then you came back up to it again. In November you got rejected, and you came back here again to like December. You try to get above it, couldn't stay above it, and now here we are. We're trying to get above it again one more time here in January. And yeah, here we are in January, and we actually came down to the 21 EMA instead of losing the 21 EMA, right? You're actually getting a bounce off the 21 EMA for the most part. And I want to see Cardano continue climbing up to higher prices, and maybe you get rejected off this 50-day moving average, sitting at 49 cents. But if you get up to 49 cents, that's going to put you above this high right here in December when you got up to like 48 cents. So it would be a slightly higher high, and you're starting to make the case that you're now making higher highs again versus making lower highs. Because right now, I mean, Cardano has been making lower highs ever since September. Right? Then October, another lower high. November, another lower high. December, another lower high. And even like, I mean, unless we get above what we did here in January, like early January, when we were at like 43 cents, this could be another lower high unless we get up to like 43, 44 cents. And then of course, I want to see us get up to like 49 cents if we can. Take it above this other lower high that was formed here in December. So Cardano, you got some work to do here. But so far, so good on the work that is done so far. And you're just doing like a bullish consolidation here, and you're probably going to get launched up to higher prices here. Let's see what the momentum indicators are doing. Let's see if Cardano is... let's see if Cardano has the momentum to go to higher prices. Okay, so it's like similar to Bitcoin, the buying pressure was dying down over the last week here. But now today, you're getting the buying pressure, you're getting a nice solid green candle versus a light green candle. So buying pressure is increasing right now. Continue doing that for the rest of the week, you know, going into tomorrow and the next few days here. And you should see Cardano go to higher prices and continue on its rally here. And market cipher B is showing that money flows in the green. You want it to stay in the green here in the daily time frame. And you got a green buy dot today saying that, you know, we could see a couple of good days ahead of us here for Cardano, at the very least, with that green buy dot showing up right now, today, January 13th. So I like that. That's good to see. Didn't really give you downside target for Cardano, but let's try to stay above this 21 EMA at 37 cents here. If not, you could go down to lower prices. Obviously, you can probably revisit the lows here in December, where we saw 32, 33 cents here for Cardano. But if Bitcoin's going to climb up to like 97 or 100K, you would expect Cardano to at least follow suit and climb up, and maybe it gets rejected at that green line there, that 49 cent target. That's where I would target the 50-day moving average here. 49 cents is what I would look for Cardano. All right, so you guys say a few things here. Jay says awesome. Arc Low says your teller trade looking spicy for more continuation, and you love it. You want me to take a look at Teller? Okay, I think I can do that. What's the ticker symbol? What's the ticker symbol and what exchange do you trade it on? TRB? Okay. All right. On Binance, okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Teller. TRB on Binance Exchange. All right, we're currently taking a look at TRB, Teller, currently trading at $22.77. We're on the daily time frame here for Teller. Looks like Teller already did what we want Cardano to do, right? Cardano got above its 21 EMA, but Cardano didn't actually get up to the 50-day moving average. This one already did get up to the 50-day moving average, and it did it today. That green line is sitting at $23.15. We actually got to like $23.58 for Teller. So you got rejected. Do you see like why these moving averages are kind of important to be looking at, especially on the daily time frame? Somebody else had the same idea here where they thought like, all right, when this thing gets to the 50-day moving average, we're going to click the sell button, and they did that today already on you. Okay, but it's good to see that that you actually got to the 50-day moving average, because you got above higher than what you did here on January 6th. And is that higher than what you did here in December? December you got up to like 23.49, and today we got to 23.58. So you actually make it a higher high than you did here back in December. So that's good to see as well. So good job, Teller, for doing the thing that you need to do. Okay. If we were to continue going up to higher prices, you know, we got the 100 moving average as an idea. It's like where we could take profit again at 26.93. And that's the level that we were trading at sideways here back here in October and November of last year. So I think whoever bought here in October and November of last year, they probably want to break even and get out because they've been on the water for like the last few months here. And if they're not in it for the long term, if this was just them trying to buy the dip, only for then it to keep on dipping on them, you know, they might decide to just click the sell button at $26, and you can come join them at $26 and click the sell button as well. I mean, that's just eyeballing the chart here without turning on the VRVP indicator, but I bet you if I turn on the VRVP indicator, the visual range volume profile indicator, it's probably going to say the same thing. It's probably going to say that's a high volume node. And yep, if you look at it, the VRVP indicator is saying that there's a blue line here. That's the point of control, POC, sitting at 26.41. So I would for sure click the sell button at $26. You don't have to sell everything. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't try to pretend to be. But if I was in this asset and I was trying to trade it, I would try to sell at $26 here. Because that's what the POC, the visual range volume profile indicator, is showing, is most likely going to be resistance because we're below it right now. Okay. If we were above the POC, then I would say this would probably be support. But because we're below the POC, this is going to act as resistance until it no longer acts as resistance. And then look at the VRVP indicator. Volume starts to drop off. You got the value area high. You got $28 could be another take profit target. Then the volume continues to drop off some more here. And then it's like smooth sailing and clear skies above $30 here. But look, at $30, that 200 moving average on the daily time frame, that could act as resistance as well. So I would start dollar cost averaging out. You know, take some off the table at $26, take some more off the table at like $28. You know, take some more profit at $30, and you're doing all right. And I think if you did that, 26, 28, 30, your average will be about $28 getting out of this asset here. Well, yeah, if we get past $30, this thing could shoot up, you know, higher and faster. But, you know, I think $30 is going to be a tough area for you to get past here on TRB. All right, because you got the 200 moving average and a lot of volume moving at that area. Let's see, this asset has gone up to like, wow, like back here in May of last year, $65. But I'll turn the VRVP indicator and see what it says after that. You know, if you were to get past $30, there's some high volume here at $40, and then some more high volume here at $48, $49. So, you know, if you get past $30, it could have, you know, end up going up to like $40, and then $48, $49 after that. That's if you're in it for a long-term investment here. All right, we got a guy here by the name of VIP Signal Free. It's saying sell gold now, take profit at 45.70. So you're a signals guy? Is that what you do? Arklow, you're welcome for the insight. Cheers to you as well. Thank you for coming on to the live stream. Don't forget to double tap the screen for the like. Let TikTok know that I have some good TA here by double tapping your screen there. That's how you send the likes over here. Appreciate that. And thank you, Jay, for liking the live. I saw that. Appreciate that. My YouTube guys are pretty quiet today. All right, let's see how Bitcoin's doing. Remember when I started the live stream, I said Bitcoin could possibly sell off at any moment. Looks like you're kind of getting that right now with Bitcoin. Let's get into the 5-minute chart, see what Bitcoin's done on the 5 minutes here. Yeah, so I went live, what, about an hour ago? And that was like when Bitcoin was at like 94,400, 500. We get a little bit of sell-off. We went below 21 EMA on the 5-minute time frame for Bitcoin. And it looks like, you know, Bitcoin could possibly come down to the 50 moving average, sitting at 93,400. That's gonna hurt. Matty Ghost is in the chat. Good to see you, Matty Ghost. I see you. You can't find anything? What is it that you're trying to find? Damn. I was kind of hoping Bitcoin would like push up to 94,800 and then I could short it, but it looks like 94,500 is where people decide to click the sell button here on Bitcoin right now. Let's see, does it have the momentum to go up to higher prices again one more time? On the 5-minute time frame. Selling pressures definitely was pretty steep over the last 30 minutes here. If we start seeing some light red here, you can see selling pressure die off, and then maybe Bitcoin makes another run up to higher prices here. What does it look like on the 15-minute time frame? 15-minute time frame, you got the MACD cross over the downside. So it looks like I missed out the opportunity to short Bitcoin. I should have done it as soon as I started the live stream here. But you just don't know, like in the thick of it, like, you know, it could have pushed up to 94,800, and that would have been a really good price to enter a short on Bitcoin, in my opinion. Long or short IP swing, everything looks iffy. I can take a look at IP if that's a request there. Cookie is asking about Cardano. Oh no, Cookie, we just looked at Cardano like a couple of coins ago. I'll give you like a kind of like a summary analysis of like the targets to the upside and downside for Cardano. And AFAX says, "Holy crap, so many indicators." Yeah, I got a bunch of indicators. I got the RSI, the market cipher B, and I got the MACD here. But I can always get rid of them if it's too much for you. Nasir says, wait for the retest and confirmation. Are you talking about Bitcoin here? You know, on the 50-minute time frame, looks like the 21 EMA has been acting as good support here. So maybe Bitcoin comes down to 93,800, tests it, and then we launch up and try to retest 94,500 again. If we retest 94,500, maybe I open up that short, like partial position, and then I'll take some more of my short at 94,800 for Bitcoin here. Matty Go says he wants to short Gun at 0.024 cents. Alright, let me get over the Cardano real quick because Cookie did ask for that. We looked at Cardano earlier, but we'll do a summary analysis here on the daily time frame for Cardano. I was happy to see that Cardano got above the 21 EMA. Looks like we tested it for support and we're bouncing off. High side target to look for to the upside is this 50 moving average sitting at 49 cents, which is also similar to this high here back in December at 48 cents. So I think 48, 49 cents is where you could take profit on Cardano to the upside. And of course, you know, we'll see if Cardano can hold, you know, 37, 38 cents. That's your one of your downside targets. But if not, then maybe Cardano's got to revisit the lows here back in December at 32, 33 cents. So 37 and then 33 cents is your downside targets for Cardano. If we're not going to be bullish, you know, if we're going to actually drop down to lower prices here. Calvin Hill has followed me here on TikTok. I know there's a bunch of Calvin Hills out there, so I don't know if you're the real one or not. But thank you for following me here. Appreciate that. Professor says, what exchange am I using? I use a few exchanges. I do have a link in my TikTok bio. If you go on to my TikTok, the Meet Damien TikTok here, you'll see one of the exchanges that I use is WEEX, and I got a code here to help you get some bonuses from WEEX. You click on that link, you sign up for WEEX exchange, and then you can start trading on WEEX. And this is where I trade I do some of my trading here on WEEX. Right now I'm in a aerodrome long here, just a 10x leverage long, up about 12% right now. I also use Coinbase Exchange, and a lot of the links, you know, if you want to get all the links here, it's a little bit tough here, but you can always message me on TikTok. But on Discord, I do have here on the Meet Damien Discord, if you click on referral links and bonuses here, you'll see my my exchanges that I use from referrals here. There's the WEEX exchange. I also trade on Coinbase there. There's a link there. Kraken as well. Okay. So those are some exchanges that I like to trade on. Alright, let's see what else you guys are saying here. Matty Ghost, do you want me to look at gun or IP? I'm just gonna wait. I know there's like a 10-second delay there. You know, let's we'll take a look at IP real quick, because I know I had somebody else I was asking about shorting IP. Maddie, was that you in Discord that was asking for the short on IP? Like adding to the short? Kind of talked about it here on Discord. Anyways, we're looking at IP story, currently trading at $3.84, up 32% today. Might be worth taking a look at for a short, right? You want to take a look at IP and gun? Sure, why not? But if I'm going to, it's always good to look at the daily time frame just to get the bigger picture idea. Obviously, this thing has caught a bunch of bids here over the last few days. Could be worth taking a short, but let's look at the day trading time frame, because that's where I like to start. The 1 hour time frame is where I like to start to look for longs and shorts here. So on the 1 hour time frame, you can see that we got up to like $4.20 here. $4.20, right? We got to $4.20 at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Then we had a little bit of a sell-off here at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. But it looks like IP getting a bounce off of the 0.5 retracement here. I drew this Fibonacci retracement from like 420 down to like $3.05. That's where we started this move up on story here. And usually when you sell off, right? If this is the top, and this is the top so far for today, usually when you sell off, you usually come down to either the 618 or the 0.5 retracement. And it looks like we already came down to the 0.5 retracement. So now you're getting a bounce off there, and you're coming up to 0.618 at $3.75. We already did that. If this thing's going to continue being more bullish here, we come to that 786 retracement, and then I would look for, if you want to add to your short, if you're already in a short on story, I would try to like maybe add somewhere near 396, because this is where we could get rejected, right? We could get rejected at this level on the 1 hour time frame for a story. Just an idea, not saying we are. But I would start looking for a short here and be looking for like a lower high to be formed around this area, okay? And then maybe put your stop loss at the $4.20. All right, looks like some of these high market cap cryptocurrencies are catching some bids right now, because I'm getting some notifications on my phone about Ethereum and Solana. Solana at 145, wow, and then Ethereum at 32.73, almost about to hit 3,300 bucks. I want to go check out my Ethereum long here on WEEX exchange. It should be cooking some money right now. Yep, Alright, so I'm up about 69% on my Ethereum long here. Looks like I got in at 31.63 and Ethereum is at 32.80. I'm up about 120 bucks on my Ethereum long and still climbing. That's good to see. That's actually a long-term long. I'm actually going to try to stay in this until this rally is over. Oh, damn! Bitcoin just hit 94,800. We're at 95K. I'm sorry, I got to get back to Bitcoin here. Oh, is that you, Canada? Canada Dry? Look at this. Bitcoin shooting up now. Damn, oh damn, oh damn. We just hit that $94,800 area, and we are cashing the bids here. My short that I'm trying to get into on Coinbase, I already got stopped out because I had my stop loss at 95,800. I should probably check that right now, to be honest with you. Bitcoin is doing the damn thing right now. Look at this 1 hour candle here. Let's look at the 5-minute candle. Wow. All right, so Bitcoin just did it there on the live stream there, guys. Wow. So I probably lost some money on my short there because I had my entry at 94.8 and my stop loss at 95.8, and we did that in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes time here. Wow. Yeah, so I just lost some money on my short there. Oh, but this is great for the longs though, right? Look at this. Ethereum's at 3,300, so like my freaking long on WEEX is up 170 bucks. Oh my god, I just made like another 50 bucks on top of that. We were just saying that it was up 120 bucks on my Ethereum long, and now I just look at it now and it's up 170 bucks, like $50 in like 2 minutes time. Where else can you make that kind of money in 2 minutes? I don't know. I probably gotta maybe rob somebody. I don't know. My aerodrome long is also cooking up about 34%. I might take some profit on my aerodrome long. Wow. We'll come back to we'll take a look at gun and IP later, but I gotta actually figure out what I'm gonna do with my aerodrome long here. I was trying to take profit at like 70 cents. And I don't got the movement averages set up on here. I don't got this set up like I normally do. So let me look at aerodrome here on TradingView. Wow, we got a little bit of a short squeeze there, guys, on Bitcoin and a lot of these other cryptos here. You just saw a little short squeeze there, guys. That's what a short squeeze looks like. Aerodrome currently at 59 cents on the 1 hour time frame. Let's see. I'm looking to see if there's any moving averages above me. I think I was targeting just the daily time frame here. I was targeting this 50 moving average here at 73 cents, right? Because I got in at 57 cents, or maybe a little bit under 57 cents. I got my stop loss at 55 cents. I think Aerodrome could launch its way up to this 50-day moving average, sitting at 73 cents. But I don't know if it's actually going to hit 73 cents, so I'm willing to take profit at 70 cents. But if it does go to 73 cents, that's about a 28% gain. Risk reward ratio is 8.02. That's really good risk reward ratio. For you, anything 3 and above is considered a good risk reward ratio, and 8 is golden, really golden. Huh. Ethereum at 3270 still. Oh my no, it's at 3,300. Yeah. Damn, guys, what was that all about? We just had that short squeeze there. Money is being made for the longs. The bears and the shorts are getting killed today. But yeah, I think I'm still going to stick with 70 cents, but I'm trying to see if there's anything for my aerodrome long. I'm trying to figure out what the hell. They're saying Bitcoin's at 96K on WEEX exchange. Really? It's not like that on. It's not like that on Coinbase. I can tell you that. All right, yeah. So let's see, 4-hour time frame or even the 8-hour time frame. Let's see if there's any moving averages to look for. 64 cents could be another upside target for Aerodrome because of the 200 moving average on the 8-hour. And then 68 cents on the 12-hour. So I think it's probably better for me to just look at the VRVP indicator, see if there's any volume nodes up above. Yeah, so there's some volume node here at like 66, 65, and 68, somewhere around here. Yeah. 61, 62 cents. And then the high back here was at 63. So I think I'll take partial profit at like 63, 64 cents on Aerodrome. So let me go ahead and just put that in there. Because, you know, things can happen real quick here, as we can see. So if I want to close out partial position on my Aerodrome, right now I got $104 of margin in there. Let's see, for Aerodrome, make sure I got that in there, clicked in there, ready to go. Probably want to take out like maybe 50%. And I'll do that at 0.63. I'll click that close button. So I put an order in there to close out my Aerodrome at 63 cents. I got that ready to go. Funny enough, they don't really tell you here how much profit that would be. But on the phone app, I know they do. They just don't do that here on the exchange, which kind of sucks, you know. I would like to know how much money I'll actually make by closing out at 63 cents, half of the position. But I don't know. Let's see. I could do some math here by adjusting the take profit here. So if I was to do it at 65 cents here, I mean 63 cents. Let's see. I make about $109 on the trade if I close out the full position at 63 cents. So closing out 50%, I'll probably make about 50 bucks. So that's how I do the math here when I'm on WEEX exchange. But I'm not going to actually do that. I just wanted to just calculate that real quick here. All right, I got to refresh the page here. So everything in the green looks good. Although I do want to take profit on Aerodrome as soon as it starts cooking. And then, yeah, my Ethereum long, I'm going to be in that for a while here. So I'm leaving that one alone for now. All right. Matty Ghost Canada Dry says IP's at 394. I mean, I feel like we need to get back to looking at Bitcoin again. But let's see. Let me just see. How high did Bitcoin get up to just recently? 96,250. Okay, so we actually did hit 96K on Bitcoin. And you saw that? Kind of saw it here on this live stream. We definitely saw 95,800. I remember seeing that. Damn, that was a short squeeze if I ever seen one, huh? Alright, let's go back to, we'll look at IP again one more time here. I didn't really finish up the analysis there. For my buddy Canada Dry, Matty Ghost. IP currently at 397 right now, Matty Ghost. And on the 1 hour time frame, you were asking about shorting IP, right? I don't know. I mean, with Bitcoin climbing up to high prices here, I think it's time to close out those shorts, and we'll have to see where Bitcoin ends up next, and then we could try to maybe think about shorting. But, you know, once Bitcoin does its thing, then the altcoins are going to try to climb up too. So I don't know if it's a good idea to be shorting, to be honest, right now. Once Bitcoin settles off, I would probably be looking to short Bitcoin first and then short the altcoins. Because what's going to happen, usually with these pumps, is Bitcoin will cool off, and then the altcoins are going to continue pumping. And then eventually the altcoins will cool off, and then they'll start dropping if Bitcoin's dropping. But if Bitcoin's going sideways, then that's even better, because that means the altcoins can just do their thing, pump up, and then go sideways themselves. Yeah, Bo to watch. Everything is ripping. It's not just OP. We are definitely pumping right now. Yeah, we got a little bit of a short squeeze there. Nasir's asking, should we think about shorting? I don't think shorting. If you are, you can just know like you could get stopped out. There could be another short squeeze. Just saying. I wouldn't really do a high conviction short. I would just throw it in there. Keep the stop loss relatively tight if you can. Try to short near the highs for the day. And maybe you get lucky and it actually sticks. But I do think the longs should be taking profit. And I gotta remind myself to do that myself. I want to take profit on Aerodrome, but I think Aerodrome could be one of those altcoins that continues pumping once Bitcoin cools off here a little bit. Let's see, Aerodrome's at 59 cents. Yeah, I think Aerodrome could go up to 63 cents. Who knows? Maybe I take full profit at 63 cents if Aerodrome goes up to that price. Let's take a look at Gun for Matty Ghost here. What exchange do you trade Gun on? I see I got Kraken, Binance. Let's try to take a look at that Kraken exchange. Going to the daily time frame. So I can see Gun is currently trading at a little bit above 2 cents, 0.02194 pennies, up 4.83% today. And I'll get rid of your VP for now. You can just see right here on Gun that we had a few ever since the beginning of January. It's been a great January for Gun. Last Wednesday was a crazy day, up 31%. Friday of last week was pretty good too, up 20%. And this was good enough to get you above the 200-day moving average. So Gun, you could be cautiously optimistic on this thing that, you know, since you're above the 200-day moving average, you could be bullish again on Gun. And let's see, Gun has been in a downtrend ever since like May of last year. But now you're starting to catch the bids here. That's good to see. Let's see what the momentum indicators are doing here. MACD, buying pressure dying down though. So you're going up in price, but buying pressure is dying down. A little bit conflicting. Okay. And yeah, I mean, obviously, buying pressure has died down. You got some red candles here the last few days. If buying pressure, if you start seeing a solid green candle here, I would become bullish again on Gun. But right now, I'm cautious on Gun. Are you looking for shorts on Gun? Is that why you're asking about this asset here, Matty Ghost? Yeah, the red sell that came in on Sunday. Momentum's going down a little bit. And this happened near the oversold area. So Sunday was a good day to try to get into a short on this one. We got Kitty Kush in the chat. Good to see you, Kitty Kush. Yeah, IP is definitely ripping again. Oh, you got you do Bybit for Gun here. Okay. Well, I think this is good enough information here on Kraken. Kraken seems to have some good trading volume here. Good information here. All right. So let's do a Fibonacci on this one. We'll get some upside, downside targets for Gun here. Wow, so it looks like gun already came down to the 200-day moving average, which was confluent with the 0.5 retracement here at 0.021 pennies. So maybe gun is actually done going down for now, because you should get support off the 200 moving average, and you should get support off this 0.5. If this doesn't act as support, then we... I just messed that up. Damn it. But yeah, if we were to come down to lower prices here on gun, you got the 100-day moving average at 0.0187, which is confluent with the 0.32 at 0.018 pennies here. So I will look for that as your next support area. And if that doesn't hold, then, I mean, even more confluence here with both the 50-day and the 21 EMA at the 0.0158, which is confluent with the 0.236 at 0.0157. So I'd be looking for this support area on gun. This is like, I mean, it doesn't get any easier than this, man. You got the moving averages and the Fibonacci's both agreeing with each other. And then you got this right here agreeing with each other right here. So that's why I'd be looking for downside targets on gun. Now, upside targets, nothing really above you for moving averages, but you got the 786 retracement at 0.0274 pennies here. It's an idea. You can see, I think we kind of came up. We candlewick, we had a candlewick high up at that level, where we kind of came up to the 786 retracement only on Saturday and then came down. So I would be looking for this as a possible resistance area, especially if you're day trading this. I would try to make this as your take profit target for now. And then of course, you know, can we get back up to 3 pennies like we did here on Friday? We shall see. We shall see. And if you're in this for the long-term swing trade, you get the 1272 Fibonacci extension at 3.037 pennies, and then you get the 1618 at 4.5 pennies. Maybe later on in 2026 you see 4.5 pennies for this one. But yeah, if this thing does go to 4.5 pennies, that's a 100% gain where you are from now. I would definitely take profit at 4.5 pennies for sure. For sure. D2 Miami's in the chat. D2 Miami wants to look at Bonk. And Didia says, is this gold? No, we're not looking at gold. Do you want me to look at gold? I can look at gold if you want me to look at gold. We're looking at some cryptocurrencies right now. Didia. Alright. And did I get everybody's request so far? Yeah, we're looking at IP, we looked at gun. And I guess we gotta look at Bonk now for D2 Miami. Alright, so here we are. We're looking at Bonk. Currently up 15% today. Yep. They're getting the bids now today. We're just going to say that this thing is trading at 1174. And on the daily time frame, you are at that 50-day moving average. 1142 was the 50-day moving average. That's where it's sitting at. Okay. Can we stay above it this time? We didn't really actually. We've been above it before. We never closed above it. Barely. Barely. Yeah. So can we close above the 50-day moving average for Bonk? That would be nice to see. Okay. Because if you can do that, then maybe the next target to the upside would be the 100-day moving average, sitting at the 1488 for Bonk. That'd be the next idea for take profit on Bonk, which is confluent with the sideways trading action that you did back here in October. Think about the poor people that bought Bonk in October, thinking that, oh yeah, we're going to buy the dip, only for this thing to keep on dipping on them. Yeah, I think when we get back up to like 1500, these people here that were just trying to do a short-term trade and then became long-term investors, unfortunately, they might not want to be long-term investors on Bonk, and they might decide to click the sell button when we get to 1500. So I would start taking profit at 1500 for Bonk, because I'm pretty sure the people that bought here in October are going to probably take profit at 1500 just to break even. But you right now, you could be buying it right now, and you're going to be in profit. How much in profit would you be? Let's take a look at that. Going up to 1500. you'd be up about 29% on bonk, and that's right where that 100-day moving average is at. So yeah, I would start taking profit on bonk around that area if you're able to get up to that price level. So that's your upside target there for bonk as far as I see. Downside, you know, if bonk can't get above the 50-day and stay above it, then this thing could probably start trending back down again to this 21 EMA and get some support at 950. That's where that white line is hanging out at for bonk. I think 950 is your downside target for bonk in the meantime, in the short term here. All right, I'm a little bit curious to see what is Bitcoin up to right now. 95,400. Okay. How high did Solana go? I'm a little bit curious about that too. Solana go up to like $148 here on Coinbase Exchange. Almost 149 bucks. Solana on the daily time frame came up to its 50-day moving average, right? Did it? Or did it not? I don't know. No, I didn't. I take that back. But yeah, I think I should probably take some profit on Solana when it gets to 150 bucks, 153 bucks. We're right near that. I have some spot bags of Solana. I'm trying to offload at higher prices. Maybe I gotta do that at 150. When I see Solana at 150, I should probably put that as an alert. Solana at 150. Try to take some profit above 150 for Solana. There you go. Remind myself that. Matty Ghost wants to look at Pudgy Penguins. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at Pudgy Penguins. Pengu. Feels exciting, guys, right? We've seen these cryptocurrencies finally catching some bids here. Going up to higher prices here. I'm not going to be bullish on Bitcoin again until it gets to 107K though. I feel like at any point we could end up making a lower high here on Bitcoin. So, but nice to see that we're at 95K and then we hit 96K. That's going to be talked about on the news later on today and tomorrow. It's going to get some people excited to get back in crypto again. D2 Miami wants to look at XLM. Alright, I'll write that down as a request from D2 Miami. Oh, Boat to Watch says Bitcoin's going parabolic in Iran. I bet. I heard the price of a lot of food items is up like 70%, almost double what it was like a week ago. So inflation is definitely an issue in Iran right now, from what I've heard on the news. Alright, but we're looking at Pudgy Penguins right now. And then we're going to take a look at XLM. Well, Pudgy Penguins currently trading at 0.0134 pennies. Let's see if I can pull that up. 0.013, yeah, 0.0133 pennies here, up 13% today. And I just think, you know, these moving averages are pretty big deal. When we get to this 50-day moving average on Pudgy Penguins, that's sitting at 1473. You're probably gonna get rejected. You might get above it a little bit, maybe go up to like 1500, but or a penny and a half. But I would take profit when you see this 50-day moving average get hit here on Pudgy Penguins. That's what I would do. Thank you, Zumbin, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Hopefully you're enjoying the live stream and you get to watch some more live streams in the future. I'm looking forward to seeing you come up on the live streams. I usually go live 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time is the time slot that I usually do nowadays. So you'll see me go live again tomorrow. And thank you, D2 Miami, for liking the live stream. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. My TikTok guys, all you gotta do is double tap your screen to send me the like. That's the least you can do. Doesn't cost you anything. And I appreciate that. Alright, so Pudgy Penguins, nice bullish engulfing green candle here. Getting back to the prices that you're at back here from last Tuesday. If Pudgy Penguin for some reason just ends up doing an Uno reverse and just goes down to low prices out of nowhere, 21 EMA could act as support at about a penny, 0.0108 pennies here. And I just don't see anything else that could act as support besides that as of now. You could just come right back to where you were in the end of December and first day of January here when you're at 8,800 is what we'll call it. Less than a penny. That is for sure a support area, unless it's not, and then yeah, that'd be bad if we lose that right there. I don't want to lose that for Pudgy Penguins. Let me just quickly do a Fibonacci on this, see what Fibonacci has to say. So yeah, 0.5 retracement at 11,209. I think that could be an area where we come down to, and that would be right where the 21 EMA will probably be at tomorrow or later on this week. But upside targets, there you go, $0.50. You should definitely think about selling at $0.50. Pudgy Penguins, take some partial profit or whatever full profit you want to, and then you got the 1618 at 17.0172 pennies here. Yeah, I would just look for these targets here. All I did for the Fibonacci, I just drew from the high here on Tuesday, January 6th, to the low here on December 31st. And it gave me this 1272 and 1618 to look for. All right, let's move on to XLM. Where is XLM? I know I got this on my watch list somewhere around here. There it is. Right next to Penguin. Alright. Stellar Lumens. Currently up 8% today. Trading at 0.237 pennies. 23 pennies, roughly. Man, I was trying to enter a long earlier on XLM this Sunday. And I got stopped out, unfortunately. But looks like the bids came in today for XLM, just like they did for a lot of other cryptocurrencies. XLM actually came down to this 0.32 retracement at roughly 22 pennies. Let's see, earlier today we were at 0.218 pennies. And then yesterday we were at 0.216 pennies. So I had my stop loss at 22 pennies on Sunday because I was trying to buy this thing at like 22.5 pennies. 23 pennies. And I got stopped out. But whatever. I made the money back with, like, you know, some other longs here on Aerodrome and XLM and Zcast, so it's not the worst of the worst. You know, you can always make the money back. But if the thing continues to climb up to higher prices here, I think the 786 retracement could act as a resistance at 24 pennies, 0.242 pennies to be exact. And we'll see if this thing can climb back up to 25.5 pennies like it did here on January 5th and 6th. What a strong bullish engulfing candle that you got here. So today was the day I was supposed to long XLM. I tried to do this 2 days ago, but okay. That's fine. I'm not gonna hold it against them. It finally caught the bids. I'm glad to see that. But if it keeps on cashing those bids here, then we got the 1272 Fibonacci extensions at 27 cents here, which is right above this 50-day moving average. So I think 26.5 to like 27 cents is your target for XLM for the day traders here. If not, you might be able to push this thing up to like 29 pennies here. You got the 1618 saying that you could get up to that level there. And of course, you got the 100-day moving average at 30 cents. So 29 and 30 cents for the long-term investors in there, swing trade investors, and then even 32 cents is another idea for taking some profit on XLM here. D2 Miami with all the requests here today. Who wants to take a look at near protocol after this? Alright. Just want to see the momentum indicators on XLM. Yeah, so buying pressure was dying down, and now today you got buying pressure increasing again. That's good to see. Hopefully we get this going into tomorrow and the weekend and going into next week, and we just get a nice little rally here for cryptocurrencies and XLM. And then market cipher B, you got that green buy dot that came in today. Okay, so today was the day I was supposed to buy XLM. That's fine. I feel like if I keep talking about it, you guys are gonna feel like I'm salty on it. I'm not. It's part of day trading, right? When you day trade, the cost of doing business is your stop loss getting stopped out. It's part of the cost of doing business as a day trader. All right, we'll take a look at near protocol for D2 Miami. I just think it's funny how I was trying to buy XLM and long it, and I was just, a couple of days early. That's all. But some people would say, when you're early, you're wrong. So maybe I was wrong. But I was right if I was going to be in it today. Near protocol currently trading at $1.88, up 12% today. Definitely getting a bullish engulfing candle here, putting above the highs from Tuesday of last week. For sure. That is a nice candle to look at, right? Can we get up to that 50-day moving average right above you at $2? I don't know. But that's where I would be taking profit next if I was in a long or a spot position on near protocol. And of course, you got the 100-day moving average above you at 223, and then the 200 at 231. So those are other. Probably take profit target 1, going to be $2, and then take profit target 2, going to be 223 to like 231, somewhere in this area is where I would take profit on near protocol. Downside target? Well, I mean, it looks like you kind of got a bounce. You didn't really hit the 21 EMA, but you came close enough, got front ran a little bit. 21 EMA is at $1.64. That's where I would possibly put a stop loss, on this asset here. Yeah, I think, $1.64, $1.63, somewhere around there. Because if this thing gets invalidated, then there's probably something really wrong going on with near protocol. And do you really want to find out how low it can go? I mean, it could go down to like $1.50 here, is what I see, some support in this area. Let me turn that VRVP indicator, see if it says, yeah, the VRVP indicator is saying that $1.51 POC. Got a lot of sideways trading at that area. So that could be where we go down to if $1.64 doesn't hold up here for near protocol. But I already gave you the upside targets, right? Just those moving averages above you. Those are your upside targets for now. D2 Miami, I think I might have to put some limits on you with the requests. I think that's like your 4th request there, V-Chain. But I don't see any other requests here so far, so I guess I will look at V-Chain for you. Why not? Thank you, C-Girl, for liking the live. Guys, all you gotta do is double tap that screen here on TikTok to show the likes and appreciation for my technical analysis here on the charts here. Appreciate that. We're at 6,900 likes. I think we can get to 7,000 likes. All you guys gotta do is double tap that screen, and that gives me the likes here, so we can get up to 7,000 likes here on TikTok. All right, V-Chain doing things, right? Let's see what V-Chain's doing. V-Chain on Coinbase, sure. V-Chain currently trading at 0.0123 pennies, up 9.48% today. Nice bullish engulfing green candle like I see on a lot of other cryptocurrency charts here. Getting a bounce off the 21 EMA at 1146. We'll see how we handle ourselves. We got some volume nodes here above us. One here at 1261, another one here at 1340. Could be some problems in those areas. Then you also got the 50-day moving average that could act as resistance at 1430. So there you go. Take profit target 1, 1260. Take profit target number 2, 1330. Take profit target number 3, 1430. Those are your targets to the upside to look for VeChain for the day traders out there. Downside targets, well, I don't know why we would just all of a sudden do an Uno reverse candle to the downside, but if we did, right, something bad happens later on today or tomorrow, you got some support here at that blue line at about a penny, 0.01056 pennies. This is where that blue line, point of control, this is where the majority of people bought and sold VeChain with all the data that we got going back to like November of last year. You know, and that's mainly the people that were buying back here, right? They were buying here in December towards Christmas time, right before Christmas. They bought VeChain. It was going sideways in this area. That's all these people are in profit right now. You would have to go back down to a penny for them to be back at break even again. And even then, they're not going to click the sell button unless they see the thing go below a penny, and then they might click the sell button. So you got a lot of strong support at this area here for VeChain for your downside targets. So if you're interested in shorting VeChain, that's where I would try to take profit on a short, is right here at that POC. Okay. Hutsy says cup and handle. You talking about for VeChain here? This could possibly be a cup and a handle, and then you launch up to higher prices. And like I said, I think that 50-day moving average is a good area to try to take profit at 1430 for the day traders out here. Now, if you're in it for the long term, you know, for VeChain, just zooming out here, you get the 200-day moving average at almost 2 pennies here, and you got that's a value area high there too, that white line at like 0.019 pennies here, or almost 2 pennies. So that's where I would take profit for the swing trade, long-term traders on near protocol here. All right. I think I'm going to try to finish up here on Bitcoin, give you my last thoughts about Bitcoin, and then I'm going to close out this live stream here, guys. But don't forget to smash that like button. Go ahead and share the live with anybody else that is interested in cryptocurrencies and technical analysis. And for sure, follow me if you haven't done so already. Especially if you're on the live stream right now, there are some Meet Damien impersonators. So you guys got to click my profile picture and click the follow button. And you'll be following the actual Meet Damien here, who actually goes live. Because those other ones don't go live. Seagull wants to look at Farcoin. Well, alright. We'll look at Farcoin and then we'll look at Bitcoin to close things out here, okay? But yeah, no more requests. If you guys want to continue talking about cryptocurrencies and stocks, there is a Meet Damien Discord channel. Let me see if I can pull up here real quick. But the link to join the Meet Damien Discord is on my TikTok here. That's it right there. The link. Oh damn, okay, Aerodrome is now catching some bids now. And yeah, just click on that link. If for some reason the link doesn't work, you can just message me here. Make sure you follow me, and then you can message me on TikTok, and I'll give you the link to join the Discord, and we can just continue talking about cryptocurrencies and stocks like we've been doing all day long here today when I'm not live streaming, okay? Yeah, let's get back over to Farcoin. Farcoin currently trading at 43 cents. Up 17.6% today. Okay, Farcoin. Good job. Good to see that you're catching the bids here. These meme coins are definitely capable of doing things like that. Alright, so I'm still going to use this VRVP indicator here off on the right. You can see that Farcoin got above the value area high at 41 cents. Farcoin could be considered overvalued because of that. But if we can stay above this value area high, I think the next target to the upside is going to be this 100-day moving average sitting at 49 cents. And then if we get past that, I want to see if we can get up to that 200-day moving average at 66 cents. That'd be very interesting to see if Farcoin can get up to that area. It's almost like a 50% gain from where you are right now. Now, if Farcoin for some reason is going to go down to lower prices here, and it's not able to maintain this value area high, this white line at 41 cents, then you got the POC that should act as support at 36 cents. That could be an area where you get some cheaper Farcoin if you're interested in doing that. If that doesn't hold, then oh my god, I don't know what's going to hold it up. Well, actually, I take that back. You got some moving averages below you that could act as support, below that POC. 35 cents, 34 cents, somewhere in that area. But if that doesn't hold, then there's a gap in the VRVP. Get some high volume here at 29 cents, and then you also got the value area low sitting at 26 cents. So 26 to 29 cents could be where you get support for Farcoin if this thing just ends up dropping down just as fast as it went up. So that's what I see here for Farcoin targets, downside targets and upside targets. Let me go over to Bitcoin now. And I'll give you my closing thoughts here on Bitcoin. So very happy to see Bitcoin at 95K. It actually went up to 96K here on Coinbase Exchange. Very good to see. Right now, you know, Bitcoin could continue coming up to this this 50-day moving average sitting at 97K is an idea here. See, once we got past this $94,500 level, there's really not that much resistance here. Bitcoin could shoot up high and fast, get up to that 97K level, but it could actually continue climbing up to this value area high sitting at $101,000 Bitcoin. We haven't seen Bitcoin at $101,000 since November 12th. So that's an idea here, that Bitcoin, if it doesn't get rejected off the 97K area, it could get rejected off the 101K area. And I'm still wary of Bitcoin being below its 200-day moving average, this red line above us. I'm going to give you the VRVP indicator, but this red line above, I know I got a bunch of red lines here, but this red line right here is your 200-day moving average, 106K. I need Bitcoin to get up to 106K for me to be bullish again on Bitcoin for the long term. Right now, I'm still bearish on Bitcoin because I know at any point we could just roll over, make a lower high compared to what we did here in November, and we're still bearish on Bitcoin. Right now, I'm short-term bullish on Bitcoin because you're doing the things that you need to do, okay? And then here in the longer time frames here, like the 3-day time frame on the MACD, you know, we got buying pressure increasing on the 3-day. We got the MACD crossover, so this is why I think, you know, January could be a good month for Bitcoin. And then here on the 5-day, you're starting to get a MACD crossover to the upside, so, you know, maybe January and February could be some good months here for Bitcoin. So that's why I'm short-term bullish, because of what I'm seeing on the momentum indicators on the longer time frames here for Bitcoin. But I know that just looking at market structure, I cannot be bullish until we get above the 200-day moving average. I cannot be bullish long term. I can be bullish short term right now, but long term, I'm not going to be bullish on Bitcoin until we get above 106K and get above this last previous high here at 107K, 107,480 on November 11th, 2025. You got to get above that area. And then we can say this was just all one big bad dream here. You know, one big correction for Bitcoin. But if we can't and we roll over, then yeah, I'm going to be like, all right, guys, we're still in the bear market. Because if you're below the 200-day moving average, in my opinion, on any asset, if you're below the 200-day moving average, you're bearish. You're in a bear market until you get above the 200-day moving average. So we're still in the bear market until Bitcoin can get up to like 107, 108K. All right. C girl said it broke its inverse head and shoulder. Are you talking about Farcoin there? SM, I'm kind of finishing up my live stream here. I've been live for about a couple hours now. You said check out Ordi. It's growing fast right now. I believe you. But if you want to continue talking about Ordi, you can go onto the Meet Damien Discord. where we talk about all sorts of stocks and cryptos here. All right, and you can also see when I go live. You can watch the replay of my live streams on YouTube. All right, I do have a Meet Damien YouTube channel. So if you guys want to come find me here on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, and you can watch the replays on these live streams here. You know, just click live and you'll see the replays. And this was you know, last Friday, last Thursday, last Wednesday's live stream, and then of course today's live stream. And Pemkex says, am I sure? Sure about what? Sure about a bear market for Bitcoin? Well, it was a lot easier to say bear market definitely in November and December when Bitcoin was at 80K and below 90K. But yeah, I will still call it a bear market until we get above the 200-day moving average. Bitcoin's got to get up to like 106, 107K for me to be bullish again on Bitcoin for the long term. But I am happy to see, you know, we are, you know, short-term bullish here and making higher highs and higher lows on the smaller time frames here. On the larger time frame, we still got to get above 108K for me to be optimistic and bullish on Bitcoin. Right now, I'm just on lower high watch. You know, are we going to get rejected at this 50-day moving average? Are we going to get rejected at the 100-day moving average? Because if we get rejected here or here, that's a lower high than right over here. And that's no bueno. You get up to this 200-day moving average and okay, now you're making a case that, you know, maybe we are climbing out of this, you know, short-term bear market, right? And you could have a bear market only be about like 3 or 4 months, right? We could say that the bear market started here in November 3rd. And now here we are on January 13th and we're still kind of in the bear market until we get above that 200-day moving average. I mean, what is your definition of a bull market, bear market? I know in stock market world, anytime you're 20% below the all-time highs or 20% below the high of the year, you're considered in a bear market. So in stock market world, they would say Bitcoin's in a bear market. That's their definition. My definition is that plus if you're also below the 200-day moving average, then you're clearly in the bear market. But yeah, I know on a day like today, it doesn't feel like we're in a bear market, right? Feels like we're so back, right? But we definitely got to do a lot more than what we did today for me to be like, all right, yeah, guys, I think Bitcoin is in a bull market again. So I'm glad to see that we got what we got today, and I want to see more of it, so we can make some more money here. But yeah, I mean, me personally, I know I got some Solana that I want to sell when it gets to 150 bucks. We're close to that, and I'll probably sell some more Solana at 160 or 170 bucks. And you know, if Solana climbs up to $200, I'll be happy, and then maybe I'll buy back in again. But you know, Solana also has some proving to do too. Solana's got to get above 170 bucks for me to be bullish again on it long term. But I will sell when it gets to that 50-day moving average at $153. Yeah, for sure. And I'll sell again when it gets to the 200-day moving average. And if it gets rejected, I'll be happy, you know, that I sold what I did and when I did it. But if it doesn't get rejected and it climbs up, you know, I can always buy back in again. It's like you guys can always sell high and then maybe buy back in again and continue on with the uptrend. But what would really suck is if you don't sell anything, right? And then we roll over and go back down to like $100 Solana or even below 100 bucks, and then you're like, oh damn, Solana was at $170. Why didn't I sell? You do not want to be in that boat, in that camp. So that's why I want to sell a little bit at 150 and a little bit at 170 for Solana, me personally. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for the live stream. You're welcome, C Girl, and you are welcome as well, D2 Miami. And Glad says, will this reach 99K? Yeah, we got some resistance possibly for at 97K. And then we'll see if Bitcoin can jump to 101K after that. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this live stream. I will see you tomorrow, same time. Be on the lookout for my live stream here on TikTok and YouTube. Thank you for the likes. We got up to like 11,200 likes here on TikTok. And thank you guys for showing up here on YouTube as well. Appreciate that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care and good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you decide to get into. Take care, guys.